Hello and welcome to this India Today special presentation. This week marks 2 years of the Narendra Modi government, and you've probably seen it being plastered all over the media, the frenetic celebrations of 2 years of the Modi government. Remember, the government came to power 2 years ago on the promise of Achhe Din Aane Wale Hain. Some say it's a jumla, others say Modi has delivered. Where does the truth really lie? Which is why we've decided today to bring you a report card of the Narendra Modi government. We are calling it, in Twitter terms, #Modi2.
क्या कभी भी 2 साल में आपने कोई खबर ऐसी सुनी है कि जिसमें मोदी सरकार ने 1 रुपया खाया हो? एक के बाद एक उन योजनाओं को हाथ लगाया है जिसके कारण देश के गरीब के जीवन में बदलाव आए हैं। अब पूरे खेत में 1/3 नुकसान होगा तो भी किसान को मुआवजा दिया जाएगा, ये निर्णय हमने लिया।
Now, 2 years is a relatively decent period to judge a government. So let's first start with what are being seen as the big political hits of the Narendra Modi government when we look at Modi at 2.
BJP flags fluttering in their full glory. Video screens airing Prime Minister Modi's speeches, loudspeakers blaring Namo Namo, and a crowd of approximately 1 lakh in its scorching 40-degree heat. This is Saharanpur in western UP. And from here, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has blown the bugle for the month-long celebrations of being in power for 2 years.
2 साल पहले किसी की हिम्मत नहीं थी कि लाखों लोगों के बीच खड़ा होकर के अपने हिसाब दे सके और जनता से पूछ सके।
So how has Narendra Modi's political journey been like? The BJP can be divided into pre- and post-Modi time zones. The party was formed in the early 1980s, moved from 2 seats to 186 under the Vajpayee-Advani combine, tasted power for the first time in 1999. But nothing has been as phenomenal in the party's political history as the electoral win of 2014. 4-time Chief Minister of Gujarat, Modi literally exploded on the national scene in 2013, silencing critics both within and outside the party. The scope of the victory in 2014 was so complete that his authority was absolute. However, the political fortune of Narendra Modi didn't peak at the 2014 general elections. It just started from there. The next 2 years saw the BJP changing the traditional political narrative and emerging as the new national party from Kashmir to Assam. The first test of the Modi-Shah duo post-2014 were elections in Haryana and Maharashtra. The war cry was that now the BJP wants a Congress-Mukt Bharat. Fresh from a landslide victory in the general elections, BJP was more aggressive in its approach towards state elections. In Maharashtra, BJP was always the B player to the Shiv Sena, but not this time. BJP stunned everyone by walking out of an alliance to fight the elections. This audacious, risk-taking ability and not ready to play second fiddle to anyone was set to become the hallmark of the BJP. The Shiv Sena eventually had to tag along and is now the grudging B team in the BJP-led Fadnavis government. The situation in Haryana was different from Maharashtra, even as both states were going to the polls at the same time. Here the BJP was virtually a non-entity, and its acrimonious split with the Haryana Janhit Congress had experts in a tizzy. This combination was offering a platform to non-Jats, and a breakup was seen as curtains for the BJP's ambitions. But that didn't deter the Modi-Shah duo, who decided to go solo, just like Maharashtra. For the first time in Haryana, BJP had full majority. Its erstwhile partner, HJC, was restricted to 2 seats only. It also gave a chance for Modi to dictate the choice of the chief minister. Breaking away from tradition, a non-Jat, ML Khattar, was made in charge.
मैं मनोहर लाल ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित.
Then came Modi's big electoral challenge, the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir had been close to the political ideology and imagination of the BJP since its Jansangh days. Article 370 and Uniform Civil Code were one of the key demands of it for a very long time. The BJP started its campaign with Mission 44, and this was perhaps one of the most aggressively fought campaigns which Jammu and Kashmir had seen in a long time. The BJP won 24 seats and then entered into an alliance with an ideologically opposed PDP, writing a new chapter and managing to stitch this alliance even after the death of Mufti Muhammad Saeed. The success continued in politically turbulent Jharkhand as well. BJP romped home in big numbers. These election results catapulted the Modi-Shah duo into another orbit of BJP's stratosphere. While the whole of 2015 saw massive routs in Delhi and then in Bihar, BJP recalibrated its strategy and had a low-key election in Assam, but still managed to script a brilliant turnaround by winning the polls in the northeastern state.
In the last 2 years, BJP under Prime Minister Narendra Modi has made giant stride politically, where it has won elections in states like Assam, which the BJP has never thought of winning. But the real litmus test of the work done in 2 years will be in the all-important crucial elections of Uttar Pradesh, which will take place next year.
Now, over these 2 years, Narendra Modi has earned a reputation, particularly in year 1, of being the jet-setter Prime Minister, travelling more abroad than travelling at home. He's tried to course-correct that. But let's look at foreign policy, which has been, many say, the big achievement of the Narendra Modi government. What really are the hits and misses when it comes to foreign policy? Let's take a look at his report card again.
A Prime Minister who is his own foreign minister, and a foreign minister who effectively uses social media to reach out to Indians in need. Team Modi has made foreign policy its cornerstone. Narendra Modi has transformed his personal energy into good optics and vibrant chemistry on the global arena, though with lesser travels in the second half of his second year in office.
So if you look at the last 2 years, almost every international forum, from the United Nations to the equivalent of the East Asia Summit and various other groupings that we have had here, as also the G20, most recently when we had the Nuclear Security Summit, Prime Minister Modi is visible, therefore India is visible.
A civilian nuclear deal with Japan, leading the Climate Change Pact, keeping focus on climate justice, forging international solar alliance, seeking consensus on global terrorism, stronger maritime footprints, Iran-Afghanistan-India tango on Chabahar, promoting yoga on the world stage, reaching out to diaspora in distress, have been some of the success stories in the foreign policy domain.
He established a personal chemistry with a number of people, and it was all driven by him. It was not, it was like if you, for a cliche, you know, he thought outside the box. And to be able to pick up the phone and speak to President Obama was refreshingly different.
But barring the Bangladesh stability story, Modi's popularity slipped in the neighbourhood after a promising start. Relations remain terse with Nepal. Prime Minister's visit to politically turbulent Maldives is pending. China continues to block Indian moves from UNSC to NSG. And relation with Pakistan remains messy despite Modi's Grand Lahore visit.
Lahore visit, for example, is a good illustration of this, what seems to be out of box, could well be described as impulsive, but it has not led to the desired results.
While Modi has articulated and asserted well on the international fora, his words will be as good as the country's action. And delivery of projects still remains the biggest challenge to Indian foreign policy.
Narendra Modi has personally driven his government's foreign policy and often accused of singular decision-making even on complex countries thus facing pitfalls. On occasions, negotiations have happened away from public and media glare. Perhaps in this third year in office, it's time to recalibrate and balance out of the box with some predictability and plan B.
We've taken a look at the hits, the big policy initiatives, as well as the political hits of this government. But what of the misses? Where has the Narendra Modi government really failed? Many say it's the Prime Minister's silence, whether it's on contentious issues like the beef ban or the intolerance debate or the campus crackdown, or even the tragic death of a clerk in Uttar Pradesh. What are really the areas where Mr. Modi perhaps has failed? Let's take a look once again at the report card, Modi at 2.
Campus politics became surcharged last year and peaked in JNU standoff. If FTII students sat on relay hunger strike over the appointment of Gajendra Chauhan as institute director, there was widespread massive protest when Dalit student Rohith Vemula committed suicide and left a poignant suicide note. Fireworks were witnessed in Parliament and opposition blamed government for Vemula's death. The Prime Minister remained silent for weeks and addressed the issue much later.
मां भारती ने अपना एक लाल खोया। कारण अपनी जगह पर होंगे, राजनीति अपनी जगह पर होगा, लेकिन सच्चाई यह है कि मां ने एक लाल खोया। इसकी पीड़ा मैं भली भांति महसूस करता हूं।
However, a month later, massive showdown happened when JNU students were booked and arrested for sedition. It was the worst PR disaster for Modi, as media and JNUSU President Kanhaiya Kumar were badly beaten by lawyers and Delhi police remained mute spectators. Overnight, Kanhaiya Kumar became the face of students' protests. His fiery speech rattled the government. Finally, better sense prevailed and the case was put in cold storage. A man was lynched only because of rumors that he stocked beef. Behsada village, some 33 kilometers from Delhi, saw the worst case of mob justice or injustice. Not only did the opposition blame the government, but international media blamed the rise of fringe group for the senseless killings. Instead of condemning the incident, top BJP leaders tried to justify it.
वहां जो बात चली थी, जो अफवाह थी या सच्चाई थी, मैं इस विषय का कोई विशेषज्ञ नहीं हूं, लेकिन मैं आपसे ये सवाल पूछना चाहता हूं कि आप में से किसने वो सील देखी थी जो मांस का टुकड़ा वहां से लिया गया था, वो कहां गया?
The Prime Minister again remained silent and made an ambiguous statement during a Bihar election rally. Incidents of communal clashes, love jihad, controversy over Bharat Mata Ki Jai all have dented the government's image. Though the Prime Minister's outreach program by organizing World Sufi Conference has partially helped, but the Modi government is still perceived to be anti-minority. Electorally, the two big blots on a Modi wave were the results of Delhi and Bihar. In both these states, the BJP didn't just lose under the Modi-Amit Shah combined, but it got reduced to an embarrassing non-existent player in both. And in Delhi, Modi lost to a political novice and the might of a regional satrap in Bihar.
जनता की शक्ति के सामने कोई कितना शक्तिशाली भी क्यों न हो, वह टिक नहीं सकता है।
आज जो बीजेपी का हाल हुआ वो उनके अहंकार की वजह से।
Another major embarrassment for the government has been that they have tried to destabilize governments in Uttarakhand and Arunachal Pradesh. While the judgment is still awaited in Arunachal, in Uttarakhand, the courts have struck down governor's rule.
It's been a mixed bag for this government in the last 2 years. There have been several hits while there have been several misses. Now there are 3 more years left of this government, and if it wants to retain power, it needs to reduce the number of misses and increase the hits.
The true test of the Narendra Modi government was always the promise of Achhe Din. So let's look more closely at the state of the economy, which is critical, many say, to Achhe Din. Has the policy paralysis really ended? Is the economy now on the fast track of growth and, importantly, of job creation? Let's take a look once again at the report card, Modi at 2, when it comes to the economy.
This TV jingle from 2014 was synonymous with hope. Hope of political change that would get the crippling economy in shape. 2 years on, has the Prime Minister's party kept his promise with the people? The Achhe Din promise.
We've achieved a situation where for 2 consecutive years, the first 2 years of the Modi government, we are the fastest growing economy in the world. We've never have been such in the past. Even in an adverse global environment, we are the only country growing at 7.5%. Nobody is growing close to it.
Smart cities, an idea, grand announcements, and a great vision. 2 years later, most projects exist as only great concepts.
मैं आज लाल किले की प्राचीर से विश्व भर में लोगों से कहना चाहता हूं, कम मेक इन इंडिया, आइए हिंदुस्तान में निर्माण कीजिए।
Prime Minister's most ambitious project announced in 2014, Make in India. And the Jan Dhan Yojana. 2 years later, experts stop short of counting it as a major success.
Mudra, Punji, Safalta ki Kunji.
Inflation had been extremely well tackled by the Reserve Bank of India. What was the case earlier years when we used to have double-digit inflations and prices would rise has been curtailed. The Reserve Bank has been able to ensure that it is in manageable levels.
Inflation and price rise are among the biggest challenges. The steep jump in prices of vegetables in 2015 earned Modi the brickbats. Dip in crude oil in 2014 was seen as a huge blessing in disguise for the government. But experts warn that government must not pillion ride on oil prices. Price rise continues to pose as a major threat.
Trade deficit is important, but to a limited extent. What is more important is your current account deficit, and exports should not get affected, because the moment exports get affected, your Make in India concept will fall flat. Because you make in India for exports. That is the government's slogan.
ये जो चोर लुटेरों के पैसे विदेशी बैंकों में जमा है ना, उतने भी हम रुपये ले आए ना, तो भी हिंदुस्तान के एक गरीब आदमी को मुफ्त में 15-20 लाख रुपए यूं ही मिल जाएगा.
Black money formed the big political discourse ahead of elections to bolster economic growth, where constituting an SIT was among the earliest decisions of the government. Opposition though raised the heat on the issue, sparing no opportunity, reminding the government to deliver on the black money promise.
The solemn promise that Modi ji has made to people of this country, on which he rode to power in 2014 and took oath as Prime Minister on 26th May 2014, was promised to bring back black money.
After 2 years, the corporate India is still ready to rally behind the Modi government with a hope that something good could happen in the remaining 3 years. The trick, they say, is that Modi government should go beyond the big announcement and concentrate on the implementation and action plan.
Until the time the government gets a little more to cheer about, it wants you to believe that hope floats.
That's it on this special presentation, Modi at 2. But before I leave you, let me remind you that we tend to take our politics very seriously. These ratings and report cards, beyond that, there is life. Everyone in this country is a political pundit who often loves to criticize. But sometimes, away from all this criticism, it's time to have a laugh and say, so sorry. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
कभी कृपा हो सकती है पानी भरना मजदूरी कर रहा कि मेरे ही देश के एक नौजवान बेटे रोहित को आत्महत्या करने के लिए मजबूर होना पड़ा।
रोते हुए आते हैं सब, रोते हुए आते हैं सब, हंसता हुआ जो